sense of humanity being one family under a loving God. And in a sense, this is World Interfaith Harmony. Actually, God should be a unifying factor, not a dividing factor. Because in the love of God, you can experience that within Islam if you're a Christian, within Christianity if you're a Muslim, and for each other religion as well, whether it's Judaism or Hinduism, Sikhism, any faith. By experiencing each other's faith from the inside, you become a virtual insider. And in a sense, that's an essence of interfaith, that we can become a virtual insider because God is our friend. God is our parent. God is our best lover, our best person who knows more about us than our parents. He knows how many hairs we have on our head, right? Which none of us can ever tell. But God once said to me, I felt anyway, he says, you used to call me your best friend. That for me was a real judgment because it meant that I'd forgotten or become too busy. So in that sense, there's an important implication is that if humanity is one family under a loving God, that means we're all family members. If we're all family members, it means we have an obligation to each other. We have a familial obligation to each other to care for each other. And particularly, within your own family, if someone is suffering, then everyone is thinking about them. Everyone wants to help them in some way. They have some common hurt which they want to solve. And there's another implication, is if you're the rich son or the rich daughter who's done much better than everyone else in your own family, then somehow you have some obligation to help those who are not doing as well for whatever reason, to turn a kind or beneficent kind of hand or support to the other family member. And that also extends to the family of nations, that if there is some part of the world that is in pain and is suffering, and you are blessed, you are living in comparative luxury, or even if maybe not so rich compared to others in your own country, but compared to the world, then we have capacity to help some of the others in other parts of the world.
And responsibility.
And that's one of the reasons why we give these Ambassador for Peace Awards. It's to encourage people to live for the sake of others, whether it's in their own country or in other countries. But through these kinds of meetings, it's a forum within which we get to know more about people from other parts of the world. And through that, we can take away this kind of common ignorance or lack of awareness. You being here, you show you are people of conscience. And you're already people who are aware of many of these issues. But through being commonly aware, it takes away this, in Christianity calls sin of omission, right? This sin of ignorance or unawareness. So you live in this luxury without extending the help that you could help. And by extending that help and that support and overcoming that ignorance, you actually broaden your mind, you broaden your consciousness, and you become a person of very broad mind that God can use. And this is also a way of keeping blessing. It's not, you don't keep blessing by holding on to it and sticking up the fences and getting more security guards. Actually, you hold the blessing by sharing it. The more you share it, the bigger your capacity to share becomes. The more you share that, then the bigger your capacity becomes. So the more you share, then the higher your level comes to share more. So, and this is in essence Universal Peace Federation, and also in essence how World Interfaith Harmony Week should really become an inspirer of how to build harmony. It's the golden rule. It's living for the sake of others, but it's also sharing your blessing.